Taylor Swift's boyfriend Travis Kelce touched down in Sydney on Thursday morning. The Styles singer wasted no time showing him the harbour city, and it seems Taylor, 34, was so besotted by her visit to Sydney Zoo on Wednesday, she opted to take her man straight to the Australian Wildlife Park to get up close and personal with some native animals. The global superstar was the epitome of casual cool as she enjoyed her romantic reunion with her hunky boyfriend following his Super Bowl win. The Shake It Off hitmaker cut a casual figure on the day in a pink singlet paired with a denim miniskirt and blinding white kicks. She wore her blonde locks tied back for the outing, and hid her famous face behind designer shades. Meanwhile, Kelce allowed his athletic frame to shine through in a navy tee, pink patterned shorts and white trainer. He completed his look with a white cap, and wore a chain around his neck. It's not the first time Taylor has visited the wildlife park, located in Sydney's Greater West. On Wednesday, Taylor looked like a kid in a candy store, as she ran from one enclosure to the next, snapping away on her camera, when she got up close and personal with some of Australia's most iconic animals. She was a far cry from the stadium-selling artist her fans have come to love, as she opted to bleed into the background with all the other paying customers. Taylor was joined by several of her bandmates and dancers in the wildlife park, which is home to over 4,000 animals. She appeared to take a liking to the Tasmanian devils on the day, where she looked on with amazement. Sydney Zoo is located at Eastern Creek, 40 minutes from the harbour cities, and an adult tickets costs $44.99. Later in evening, Taylor and her entourage were seen enjoying a very swanky meal at Japanese restaurant Nobu inside Crown Towers, Sydney, where she is staying. Taylor turned on her star power for the night, opting to enjoy a birthday celebration in private room away from prying eyes. Fellow diners report that a veritable sushi train of waiters ferried food to the singer and her guests non-stop, with no expense spared. Taylor stunned on the night in a glamorous gown paired with a black and gold belt. Taylor's visit comes after she literally stopped traffic on Tuesday night when she stepped out for dinner in Sydney. The global superstar shocked onlookers at Pellegrino 2000, a neighborhood trattoria located in Surrey Hills. Taylor looked every inch the hipster local, opting for a low-key black gypsy top paired with a brown suede skirt for the outing. The Shake It Off hitmaker accessorized her off-duty look with a delicate necklace, and a jet black belt to cinch in her waist. Taylor wore her blonde locks natural for her night out on the town, and highlighted her famous visage with a classic makeup palette consisting of a defined eye and statement lip. The one-woman economy made the most of her night off with fellow singer Sabrina Carpenter, who is currently supporting Taylor on her Sellout Eras tour. The Girl Meets World star dazzled in a red minidress with white fringe detailing and simple back tights. Sabrina accessorized her look with a classic Louis Vuitton handbag, and carried a black leather look jacket to protect herself from the unpredictable Sydney weather of late. The Pennsylvania-born native wore her flash of blonde hair dead straight for her night out in the hip inner-city suburb. Taylor is currently enjoying 4 days of rest and relaxation in the harbour city after her Eras tour took Melbourne by storm, selling out 3 days at the famed MCG. The megastar jetted into Sydney on Monday afternoon and is staying at Crown's presidential villa in Barangaroo. On Tuesday morning, her private jet took to the skies on a flight bound for Honolulu, amid reports it departed to pick up her NFL star beau Travis Kelce. Kelce dropped a huge hint that he could head down under on this week's episode of his New Heights podcast, claiming that he would venture to an island real soon, with the best ones being south of the US. He added that next week's podcast is a pre-recorded guest episode which he is not featured in, which led fans to believe he would join his girlfriend in Sydney, and maybe travel with her to Singapore for her shows in the first week of March. Rumors are also heating up that Swift and Kelce will enjoy a romantic holiday together in Queensland during their time down under. Swift is set to perform 4 shows in Sydney from Friday, February 23 to Monday, February 26. Desperate Sydney Swifties are queuing up outside the Penrith Ticketek office in the vain hope that some last-minute tickets will be released to Taylor Swift's concerts. The global megastar, 34, is set to perform to hundreds of thousands of fans across 4 shows at Accor Stadium this weekend, and many are still scrambling for a ticket. On Thursday morning, there were about 60 Swifties lined up outside the Ticketek office, holding on to the hope that some last-minute tickets would be released. At the time of writing, neither Ticketek or Frontier Touring had announced any last-minute ticket releases, and with every seat at Accor Stadium booked out, it is unlikely they will. However, one final batch of tickets to Swift's Melbourne shows were released last Thursday afternoon. Just 24 hours before her first performance on February 16, left-out Sydney Swifties still have their fingers crossed the same thing will happen ahead of her first performance in Sydney on Friday. Earlier this week, thousands of fans demonstrated their passionate dedication to Swift by queuing for hours and handing over thousands of dollars for Eras tour merchandise. There were wild scenes at Olympic Park on Wednesday morning as fans queued for up to 7 hours to get first dibs on the collection. Little did they know, Taylor herself was inside the arena doing a soundcheck as fans lined up at the merchandise stall outside. Fans Layla Pryor and Mackenzie Palmer said they have already spent about $4,000 between them on the event. The tickets were about $1,600, then the merch was probably $1,000, flights for me from Queensland, I spent about $500, and then bracelets and outfits were probably another $500 each, Ms. Palmer said. Despite shelling out a fortune for the event, the pair were unfazed and said they were just grateful they would be among the lucky fans watching Swift take the stage this weekend. We are just so grateful that we actually got tickets, Ms. Pryor said. The pair joined the queue about 9:30 a.m., just as a second merch tent opened up, so they only had to wait about 1 hour in the queue. Swift will perform in front of hundreds of thousands of die-hard fans at Accor Stadium this week on February 23, 24, 25 and 26. Taylor Swift's history fourth win as the IFPI's Global Recording Artist of the Year cements her position in music history, showcasing her ability to connect with fans globally and impact.